Good evening, everyone. It is Sunday, and we got another show going on for Belial 2, and we got a special guest tonight. So, without further ado, let's bring out that special guest. We all know who he is. He was the Jersey Circler. Now he's the Cape Cod Spiraler, Mr. Stef Wilson. No idea what happened on this show.
Until you said Belial 2 right now, I literally still, I know I love busting your chops, but I literally still did not know until you said Belial 2 why I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm glad to
So,
be here.
we had to bring you on,
I'm glad to
you
be
do
here,
all
but
these
I had
variant
no idea.
covers all the time. So,
Like, is this for Zeno Nana? Is this for, what am I here for? I was kind of hoping to see, when I saw Chuck, I was like, well, Chuck is on every show, so you can't even judge when you see Chuck what show it's on.
yeah. So, without further ado, let's bring out Mr. Chuck Nasty, C Bizzle himself.
No, further ado away. I don't care.
Yeah, right?
I was literally sharing it while you guys were talking shit, so we're good.
So apparently this show is about your thing, Chuck.
Is it?
Yeah,
Is that
apparently.
you had to? Did you have to give him some like water torture or something to find out the answer?
No, he dropped it by mistake. He said this is about Belial too.
Oh, that's why I've been doing all these live shows. I thought I was just a star fucker. Okay, cool.
You have like 67 projects going on, mister.
Yeah, you have 68. I know you and I were.
I know.
Fucking
neck and neck. That's why Stef Wilson's here.
But I do one thing, covers, well, t-shirts, logos, things like that. But I'm only doing one thing. You're like writing this project, editing this project, content on this project, kickstarting this project. You've got an auto body shop you're promoting over here.
That's why I got this.
Can't even keep track anymore. Free brake and lube job with this Kickstarter. I'm like, what the hell? Like
with every copy of Belial 2 you get, you also get a bucket of bait. So yeah, no, like we're all over there.
Exactly. Cross branding, Chuck. You gotta.
That's it, man.
It's like everywhere you look, there's got to be Chuck. You know what I'm saying?
So far, so good, right?
Yep. Hi, Dan.
Hey, Dan. What's up, buddy?
Yeah,
he's a good dude.
Saying hi to his guests, his chat guests. So we'll do it for you.
We got this.
Oh, I don't want to interrupt you. I just got like caught in the crossfire of a D&D conversation about demons and.
You didn't play Dungeons and Dragons?
No, I did when I was younger with my brother, and then after my brother moved out, I didn't really ever get to play Dungeons and Dragons because honestly, nobody that I knew played it.
Really?
Wow, your friends sucked.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
So
what
we played
did you do?
Pokemon cards instead, for a little while.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
So if you didn't play Dungeons and Dragons, what did you do? Sports?
No, video games.
Video games. That was a good one, yeah, I guess.
Video games and reading. I did a lot of reading.
There you go.
So how are we doing on this book, Chuck? Have you guys gotten the chips for the hot chip challenge yet?
Is it 10 yet? Did you make 10 grand? Where
you at? We're at 42, 43.
Oh, okay. When's the chip challenge?
Chip challenge is it's supposed to be when we fund, so we're probably going to eat it when it's all said and done.
Right.
But it's coming. It's funny. So
wait, you're at 42. The goal was 39, right? So we're good.
No, we're solid.
Yeah.
So here was the funny thing. Today was the first day where there was no movement.
Really?
And yeah, but we're already in it like 12 days, almost 2 weeks.
Right.
So eventually that's going to happen. It.
It's the Kickstarter lull, the dreaded Kickstarter lull.
The dead zone, as we call it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So we're right in the middle. Today we hit it hard, and I was like, honestly, oh, cool. I can, I'll throw some shit out there, see what happens. And I was like, that's fine. It is what it is. And just before we went live, I did what I always do, refresh just in case, and it jumped up to 42, 43. And I went, oh, all right. I guess the dead zone will start tomorrow.
Gotcha, yeah. Yeah, the Kickstarter, there's two things about Kickstarters I've learned. There's that dead zone, And then the other thing is weekends on social media are very quiet for comics. Comic industry, comic related posts. I mean, God bless everybody having their weekends off or whatever. But so that can also suck too for your numbers. You know what I mean? Not so many people are as active on the weekend kind of thing. But yeah, that dead zone in Kickstarters. I was working with one creator. We literally timed the drop of their Kickstarter right into 4 other projects' dead zones. You know, it was like awesome. It was like, here it is, here it is, here it is. Okay, they're in the dead zone. And it was like, okay, they're in the dead zone. They're in the dead zone. Go, drop. It was like boom, boom. It was like you know what I mean? We literally waited until the numbers slowed on all 3 projects because it was such a busy time. And we just had to take that time right in the middle of their Kickstarters. It was the best time we could find. Hey, Martin's here, and Ed. Ed's always here.
Dude, when there's Comic-Cons going on, I get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we're all busy, everybody's but how excited, Steph, are you to go to shows next year? Because you're gonna have a fucking backlog of comps that you haven't been able to sell.
You have no idea. Boxes.
I know, that's why I'm asking.
Freaking boxes. You know, I was joking with somebody about it, like Wendy or something. I'm gonna need like 3 tables. I'm literally gonna need, like, I did my first con in January, and apparently that is what caused the COVID outbreak. Apparently, because
I believe it,
because I did the one con and then suddenly everything shut down, and I had this nice little rack that holds like maybe 25 books on it, right? And
wait, Steph just said little rack.
Little rack. Yeah, right. I mean, it was just, it's what I bought. I figured it fits on a table.
Was it a Wendy cover if it was a little rack?
So I had 26 books. It only held 25. And here I am futzing with it, trying to figure out how to get all 26 books on this rack, because there were different, and some of it wasn't even that I had 26. It was that I had like a regular and a risque and a regular and risque. So I'm trying to fit 26 books on this rack. I have no idea how I could possibly display all the covers I have in at the next con I go to. There's just no way. I'm gonna have like a wall behind me.
Right? You probably will, or you're gonna have to
jack stands to support all those boobs. I'm telling you.
You're probably gonna have to pick and choose. Let's be honest.
I know, but that's terrible. I want to show the whole inventory.
Of course, of course. That's why it's nice. I don't have what you've got.
I'll pay people with sandwich boards that hold comics to go around the con for me. Mobile comic book racks that walk around with my covers on.
That's actually a really good idea. Like, honestly, that's a really fun idea.
Say if you did a con and you got a sandwich board and you have Belial comics on your sandwich board.
Michaela's great. I just met her on a show. That's the fun thing about when you're doing this, like, blitz of marketing, is you go out there and you meet so many cool fucking people.
Right.
I mean, that's how we met. I just met Michaela the other day. She was hilarious. I made the joke about us doing the shirtless show, and she was like, "Oh, cool, we're gonna do this one shirtless." I was like, "I love this woman already. You're my best friend. Like, let's, yeah."
Yeah, and it's cool because with the live shows overlapping like that, like Mike and Trish, who found us, our group on BDI. We do need a podcast. I know.
I would totally do that.
You should see our chats. If you think we're funny now, you should see our chats because we're getting nasty.
So shit talking.
So, what is this Steph brand of bras? See, that's not a bad idea, dude. That's a good idea. Write these things down. So, no, but what's great is Mike and Trish saw my art, saw some BDI shows, met some people there. Then they watched Russell. Then you came on Russell's show. You know what I mean? Like, that's how these people find each other. It's really cool.
Yeah. No, yeah. It is terrific. It's just been nuts. And I actually found, so when I looked at and again, we're nerds because we do these fun, creative things, but there's other parts of the business that you can really enjoy. And for me, when I get to look at the database and see all the kind of stuff in the back of the Kickstarter, a lot of those numbers are great. And my favorite, they have this graph and they tell you which tiers are your best tiers.
Right.
And the one called, I think it's Make Mine a Double, or no, it's called Late to the Party. That's my best tier. We sold literally 18% of the money that's come in is from that tier. Right. And what's amazing is that that's for people to get issues 1 and 2.
which is cool.
It's awesome.
Means
It
you've
means we've
grown.
got so many
Exactly.
new people.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny too because I was talking with a different creator about Kickstarters in general, and here's the amazing thing: I come from business. You know, I did 28 years in business before I got into comics, and it was all about data and using numbers for productivity and everything else. What's amazing is a lot of these creators who do the Kickstarters, they're creators. They're artistic type. You know, they have a creative mindset. It boggles my mind that they're on their 5th Kickstarter and they have no idea of the data from their previous Kickstarters. Like, how are you not making your next Kickstarter better without, in other words, what was your best day on your Kickstarter launch? What day did you launch on? What were your numbers on launch day? What specials did you run? You know, what late cover drops did you do? You know, like, you have all that information. That information is there for you. Why aren't you data mining what you've done? 5 Kickstarters. The mountain of data that you have to make decisions is massive, but they're just not in that kind of mindset. It's not what interests them.
But it's stupid because we even have a lot of, like, you even have friends like us who love that kind of shit.
I know.
Let us play in there.
I love crunching the numbers. Like
Right?
I said, when we dropped that Kickstarter in that dead zone, that's because I loved doing the research. I went through every single creator I knew who had a Kickstarter launched, when it launched, what week were they in, everything else. I put all that information together for free because it interested me. And that's how we found the dead zone. I'm like, there's going to be a dead zone in the 2nd week of November. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, no, seriously, this person's launched. This one just finished his project. He won't launch. I had literally an answer for every single creator I could imagine. So.
And a lot of people actually do that. They try to stay within the month. They all kind of crowd in at the beginning of the month and then go to the end.
Yep.
And so that's why it can be really smart to come in the middle of the month.
Yep.
My problem is that now people are starting to get that. So, like, when I started in the middle of the month, first off, Monday and Tuesdays are great days to start your Kickstarter.
Right.
Everybody's watching. They you know, like, they're around. They're at their screens. Great, good days. So we dropped on a Tuesday. We dropped on the middle of the month, and then what happens is a lot of the other pros know the exact same they have the same data, and so we literally dropped within an hour of Steak, and Steak pulled in like $7,000 in the first day, and I was like, oh shit.
You know, she's saying that people are lazy. That's why.
Fuck yeah, they are. Yep.
And you know what's amazing is, here's the thing. All right, Chuck. So you drop on a Monday or Tuesday because those are the best days to drop a Kickstarter, right? Mm-hmm. Now Tom Hutchinson goes in and drops on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And you're going, okay, that's against all logic. Maybe it's not. Nobody else is dropping on a Saturday.
Yeah.
So, in other words, on Saturday, he made $8,000 by the time Sunday rolled around. Sunday's a quiet day, but maybe nobody's got anything else they can drop their money on Saturday. So maybe Saturday's not a bad idea. You know what I mean?
And people get paid on Friday too, so they're going into Saturday with money, going, "What can I buy?" And then you're like, "Hey, I got this project."
Yep.
Though honestly, those people are dumb because Kickstarter, the money doesn't come out for 30 fucking days.
But they don't think that way.
I know, right?
But here's the thing. All right, let me give you just a possible example. Kickstarters, the rule in Kickstarters is don't launch in December. December's not a good month. People are buying Christmas presents. That's the argument I hear, right?
Yeah.
Nobody launches a Kickstarter in December because people are buying Christmas presents. First of all, a lot of that shopping is done before December hits. But second of all, there's no Kickstarters in December. Okay, there's no Kickstarters in December because you're not going to make as much money. If there's no other Kickstarters in December, zero.
You're probably just going to make a lot because there's nothing else for people to buy.
I get it. Even if the pie is smaller, it's all yours. Yeah. But you can't get anybody to step up and try and see if launching in December couldn't be a goddamn gold mine. But because they're too afraid.
I totally feel you there.
It goes against the wisdom.
Yeah, I totally feel you there. And I think the thing about that one is that a lot of the books that are focused on more on the collector's market, those are the ones should be coming out in December because those collectors don't give up. fuck.
They don't
They
give a
want them
goddamn.
then.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. Johnny wants a toy train. I need my Lady Death Mega Baller set. Johnny ain't getting a toy train this Christmas.
You know what? Johnny's got lots of trains. Fuck him,
Exactly.
man. He can get a GameStop fucking card like everybody else.
There's a freaking train yard right down the road. He can. That's safe.
Hey, you know what? All you gotta do is get one of his old trains and just repaint it, refurbish
spray
it,
paint.
and like put if it's like another train company, just put like Burlington Northern on the side of it,
go.
and it's a whole new train.
new
He'll
train
never
set.
know, right?
For my kid's first birthday or for first Christmas, he got a train, and I wrapped it up, and I'm doing the cards. It's fucking like it's the middle of the night, Christmas Eve. You're fucking tired, and I was, you just get. You guys got to know, you get a little cranky and bitchy. So
Yeah.
I'm writing, and my wife the next morning, we're handing out gifts and stuff, and he grabs his, and she goes, "We got to read the card first. Let's see who it's from." She's like, she looks at me, and she goes, "Really?" I was like, "You got to read all the cards. Come on, man. You can't not read his." And she was like, "Ha ha ha! It's a train. Love, Mom and Dad. You can't read."
Really? Nice.
Well, and see, and speaking on what you guys are talking about, I have gotten so much feedback and flack from people that are like, "You're going live in the middle of November or thinking about December. Are you crazy?" And I'm like, I mean, like, and that was my first thought was when everybody said nobody has a project in that time period. And I'm like, well, if mine's the only one out there, it should do really good then. So, right?
Yep. Well, and that's the thing. You don't know that 100%. I always remember the line from, first of all, Michaela says we have to help her launch in December. I don't know what she's got going on, but she's launching.
We got
something. But I always remember the line from the movie, the HBO movie The Band Played On, where the CDC was trying to figure out the AIDS epidemic. And they always used to say, what do you think, what do you know, and what can you prove? Those are the three things. What do you think? You think that people are going to buy Christmas presents instead of backing Kickstarters in December. What do you know? You know that nobody launches Kickstarters in December. The third one is, can you prove that you can't make money on a Kickstarter in December? No, you can't, because nobody does it. It's the great unknown is what it is. So I think, Russell, I don't think it's a bad thing.
Well, and the other thing that I'm doing, it's kind of out of the ordinary, is I'm thinking about, so I plan on doing mine November 17th. It's a Tuesday. It's my wife's birthday. At the end of the day, I want to celebrate by launching this project. Hey, she's cool with it. She's like,
okay, I was going to say, like,
yeah. Hey, you know what? So
yeah, let's make my birthday about my husband's project.
No. Well, see, I'm off for...
I don't have time for cake, honey. I'm launching a Kickstarter over here.
Well, see, I'm on vacation after that week for a little over 2 weeks. I got my vacation back a couple of weeks ago. So I took off all the way through to like the first week of December, and I only have to use like 6 days because we only work 4-day work weeks, even though we work 5. But when I take vacation, it's just a flat 4 days. So with Thanksgiving and we get Black Friday off, it ends up kicking me a couple extra days, and then I'm off on Mondays. So that, so I end up using 6 days to take 2.5 weeks off. So I did that, so I could spend time with the family with Thanksgiving after everything that's happened this year. And then I also did that so I could do stuff like what you're doing, Chuck, get on live shows. Be like, hey, I got this project, hey, would you like to do a show? Philip, does CreatorCon and Phil Locklear and all these other shows. I want to get on there and talk about.
You say do what Chuck does, but you got to understand, Chuck's got a cup down there on the floor that he pees in. The guy is never away from that screen.
A cup when I'm lucky.
Hey, I wasn't talking about.
He's got this thing down. He's like a truck driver. He's just like, yeah, excuse me. Yeah.
Homemade catheter, guys. Homemade catheter. Yeah, I'm good.
Hey, is that why he doesn't have sleeves? Did he have to use those as TP when he went number 2?
He's got a diaper right now. Pantsless.
Made out of sleeves. Made out of sleeves.
And when he looks over for his computer screen, he's actually eating a burrito off to the side that's stuck to the side of his computer or something.
It's not even a fight. He's not even lying about that. It's a fajita.
So
it's a fucking fajita. Seriously, he's not wrong though. I'm going.
I know you're on all the time. The funniest thing is I go onto Facebook, like I'm drawing or whatever I'm drawing. I finish a rough out. I take a picture. I send it to the person who's doing the commission. I go to click on Facebook. There's something from Chuck. I type in some snarky comment. Before I even put my phone down, there's a notification. Chuck liked your comment or his snarky comment back. Like, what is the guy on? Literally on his phone? Is it like attached to him on a device? Like
I'm a writer.
Gadget or something?
I'm a writer. I'm always in front of this
He's
thing, man.
always in front of his Facebook.
No, it's true. You know, it's funny. So someone I really respect as a comic creator and a salesman contacted me yesterday, and he said, dude, I wanted you to know you're doing really good. I'm really proud of you, man, and I'm going to utilize your strategies. And I laughed, and I was like, okay, I'm really interested. What strategies do you think I'm doing that you're interested in?
Could you, and this is the great part, because Chuck still uses email, could you email me those strategies so I know what they are?
I was like, what are they? What am I doing? He's like, you know what you're doing. I'm like, I'm doing a lot of things, man.
No, he's appearing on anything and everything, everywhere that he can. He's using funny memes.
Hey, Heather, I hope you're feeling better.
Yeah, she's still not feeling great.
Oh, good luck, Heather. Take care of yourself, hon.
He's using funny memes to promote instead of just promoting the pictures, the same pictures over and over again. You're using really hysterical, religious-looking memes coming up.
That's Sean. I'll give Sean that one's Sean. Sean's
hilarious.
all over that. I know, right?
Then you're just pretty much going live on anything. I mean, no matter what the show subject is, there's Chuck talking Belial.
So before
he was on some sort of knitting thing this afternoon on YouTube, and I'm like, is that Chuck? He had a wig on, so they didn't pick up that it was him, but the beard gave him away. I'm like, wait, why is that little old lady talking about Belial?
All right, ladies, I have a demon book to show you. You're going to love it.
Stitching Bitches, I think was it. He was on Stitching Bitches this week.
I shit you not, because again, I love doing live, and I feel like it is like something you have to practice at. You have to, like your improv skills and all that. You want to keep up on it. So before I did this, I jumped on a thing. There's a group on Facebook, people looking for guests and people who need guests for podcasts.
Right.
So someone said they're looking for guests because they're looking for
Chuck
parents.
Is a media whore, Michaela.
Kind
Chuck
of,
is definitely a media whore.
Kind of. It works. So what the fuck do you want me to do, right? Demon lady, but thank you very much. I do try.
He did. He did very good.
Stitching bitches. So what ended up happening was one of these things. They're looking for a guest, and they wanted parents of trans children.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, cool. I've got my two oldest are trans, so I hit them up and I did that. And I didn't talk about Belial once. I was very good boy.
Really?
I did the show. I did everything. I did mention that I was a comic creator, just in case anyone was interested. They could go, "What kind of comics do you do? What do you have?
Right.
Have I done anything?"
On fire, waiting for the question. He's like, "Well, I got this book, Belial 2, that's live on Kickstarter right now. You may have seen it on the stall door in the bathroom at Target or Walmart, so that when you're going number 2, you can back number 2 from your phone."
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, I etched it in there with my Sharpie because I always bring a Sharpie just in case someone wants you to sign something like their baby or a book or their tits or something. Yeah, no, it's just write the Kickstarter on the stalls. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All of the stalls.
Right.
Whether this one guy was all pissed off because I'm sitting on his lap while he's trying to take a shit. And I'm like, let me just finish the URL and we'll be good. All right.
Knock on the stall door. Hey, can I write a note in here? Don't mind me.
Just got the credit card, popped it up, came in. What are you doing? Just shush. I'm almost done.
Put it on the wall above the urinal. He times it out. There's 4 urinals. He makes sure he splits it into 4 sessions. Pees on the one, zips, pees on the next one, writes it on the next one.
Yep.
Yeah, and doctors are seeing a new surge now too. People coming in with their brown eyes black because Chuck's using a black Sharpie to sketch the Kickstarter on each sheet of TP in there, and it's just rubbing off on everybody.
Oh, you have to do it on the one, and it will drain all the way through.
That would be hysterical, though.
Yeah, exactly. It'll bleed. You get the bleed.
Mm-hmm.
You should do that. You should take a picture of like in a commercial toilet paper stall, little piece of toilet paper hanging on. It's got the Belial Kickstarter information on it, like you're writing it on sheets of paper.
No, but I mean, You
Okay,
get
but
out
here's the
there,
thing.
you do as much as you can.
Chuck's also discovered something else, like going on any kind of podcast whatsoever is exposure. And like you'll see Tom Hutchinson sometimes does shows at night where he brings the fans on or whatever, and it's just talk about anything. Like it's and he tends to wander into BDI because that's what he knows and that's what he does. But then if somebody talks about Godzilla or talks about like Alpha Flight comics or something from the 90s, he's off.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. It's the same thing I learned like with social media. I can put a Belial post up there. I can put my next commission up there. It's going to get X amount of likes and X amount of maybe, responses and comments and X amount of shares. But if I slap a funny meme that I've gotten from somewhere else up there, it's going to get way more shares. It might get less comments, but it'll get a lot more shares. And shares are good for traffic. So it can't always be all about the project. Sometimes it's just got to be just the general brand, getting the brand out there. So
and then sometimes
sharing my Monty Python meme, it doesn't do anything for me or the projects I'm on, but it increases the traffic to my particular presence.
It also tells
sometimes those
people
memes get you in trouble too, because that meme I posted yesterday about Steph got Josh banned for 3 days.
No, did you really? Is that what he's been messaging me about? He's been calling me the son of a bitch in messages, buddy. He's like, that's what I get for commenting on Russell's meme.
What
What the
happened?
hell happened?
So if you go and look at the meme, I did the meme you commented on it already. It was the one I did with Fat Steph and Edit Member.
Now,
wrote, I'm not going to say it because Facebook might ban us for it, but he wrote, "You see Dutch B," like he says in the movie, Dr. Evil does. He put that and then put the meme with Dr. Evil, and they got him for like racial something. Discrimination, hate speech. Yeah.
No. And Chuck, the funny thing is, if you don't know Joshua was hysterical. Joshua posted a meme and he got it off of Facebook. It's a GIF where there's a little hamster and somebody's just nudging him with his finger or something. And for some reason that got him banned. And we all joked about it, maybe because it was poking hamsters or something. We didn't know. And it's so funny. So he's gotten banned for like the stupidest stuff. I can't believe that's why he's cursing you out in Messenger right now, Russell, because you got him banned.
Oh, he messaged me. He's like, look what you did. I'm like, I didn't do anything. You're the one that commented that. And I'm like, next time put it in quotations. Maybe quotations will make a difference.
He's the least, Chuck, you got to understand. He's the least offensive person. He's the nicest guy, the best supporter. And he's getting banned like every freaking other week.
That was Josh Bain, right?
Yeah. Josh Bain.
He came on he came on fucking Unscripted last night. He's like, I'm banned from Facebook, blah blah blah. We're like, well, this is YouTube. Come on out, hang out with us.
That's him, and it's Russell's fault.
Yeah, it's all my fault. I incited some fun comments, and somebody made a quote from a movie, and it ended up winding them banned. But that's just like Michael Schumacher. He got banned for something. 8 months ago? I think he said he posted something, and they took it down. And he's like, "Oh, I thought that was the end of it." And then here 8 months later, Facebook's like, "Oh, by the way, you're temporarily banned for this comment back in February."
Yeah, you can remove it, but it doesn't matter because it's out there, and then somebody comments on it, and boom, it's live again.
It's funny. Last night we're talking in the green room right before the show's about to launch, before Unscripted, and someone was like, "You got to be careful because for the first 30 seconds, YouTube kind of watches, and they just want to make sure you're not going to have any excessive swearing." And I was like, guys, Chuck's Raw Reviews, I always come out and I'm like, hey, how the fuck is everybody doing?
Right.
And I was like, I've never gotten anything. They're like, you got to be careful. And I was like, oh, okay. They're like, so just for the first 30 seconds. I was like, all right. So I turned on Unscripted and I'm like, hey, what's going on, everybody? How the fuck you guys doing? Today, I'm going to be hosting this son of a bitch because Phil's out there trying to get laid his once a month. All right, let's have a good fucking show.
Nice.
I don't give a shit. Give a shit.
Well, and see, on YouTube, if you put it in restricted mode, you don't have to worry about that,
All of my stuff is restricted. Seriously, on YouTube, they're like, can you just tell us which one of your videos are not okay for children? I'm like, none of them. None of them.
All of them are unsafe.
Yep.
I have one video that I made okay for kids because because it was a kid's book.
Right.
And so I was like, hey guys, this is Chuck. I'm not going to be so raw this time. Blah, blah, blah.
It
And
wasn't
so,
a live video. He needed to put in a delay, and then they had to go back and bleep out half of it anyway. Knowing you.
No, what ended up happening is they went back and they reviewed the footage to see if there was somebody holding a gun to his head in the background. You know, trying to figure out
He was
what's
reading a
wrong with
script.
Chuck.
There's
We
a
haven't heard
knife
that
underneath
on
here.
the entire show.
He's reading a script that says, "Do not insert profanity here. Do not insert profanity here." The best was, Russell, I don't know if you were watching the hot sauce challenge on the Belial thing. Wait, did you see that when he snorted the hot sauce? I seen
parts of it.
When he snorted the hot sauce, what was hysterical was, if you didn't get kicked off of all social media at that point, I don't know how, he inhaled it, and what came out of his mouth was about 15 seconds, maybe 30 seconds, of some sort of sentence that involved mothers, profanity, everything. It was just a stream of obscenities, and the best part was he was laughing the whole time. So it wasn't in a mean way, but it was the best live TV, live video moment ever, because it was so spontaneous. You could see it. He was just, like if you were hammering in a nail and you smashed your hand with a nail. It was exactly that. It was just a pain response, and he just went off, and it was hilarious. I was dying because I could see he wasn't actually going to die. It was hilarious.
No, yeah, no, dude.
You're walking through the dining room and you're walking full speed, and your pinky toe gets caught on the chair leg as you're walking through, and you just drop a 30-second, just whatever comes out of your mouth.
Right.
So, Sean by the way,
comedy is all about, if a person walks in the room and slips on a banana, it's funny. If he slips on a banana and breaks his arm, it's not funny anymore. So since Chuck wasn't actually going to die, just close to it, it was hilarious.
It's funny. Yep. Oh yeah. I told my kid that. I was like, it's funny if they hurt themselves a little bit, but if as long as they don't die. And she's like, well, what if they hurt themselves, then they die? I'm like, it's funny till they're dead.
Till they're dead.
Then it's not funny. You're like,
no, we
can't do that. You can't laugh.
I had to explain to my wife what happened to Adriana. So Adriana, Roderick tells my wife when she gets back home that Adriana fell down the stairs. And I just start laughing. And she's like, what is wrong with you? Why would you laugh about it? I was like, because she is the clumsiest kid I've ever seen. So, like, if you walk through here and then you go to the left, there's a hallway and then there's a stairwell and there's a gate there so the kids don't fall down the stairs. Well, she had went down to go get something earlier and left the gate open, and I didn't know it. Well, she gets up from the dinner table and runs around the corner to go down the hallway to her room and slips and falls down the stairs. And I'm like, are you okay? And she's like, yeah. And then I just started busting up laughing because I'm like, how do you walk down the hallway and end up 4.5 feet away from the hallway down the stairs? And my wife's like, you're still horrible. I was like, and Roderick's laughing too. She's like, you're really teaching your son good things. I'm like, I can't help it. It's hilarious. Like, how did this happen?
Right.
It's a natural human response. He was going to laugh whether you laughed or not. You didn't teach him shit.
Right.
You might have reinforced it, but it was already there. So Sean, by the way, messaged me. He wants you guys to know that whatever he's doing is more important than this. No, he's inking the Thomas Tenney cover. So which looks amazing, by the way.
Oh, okay. The Bat Out of Hell?
Yeah, dude, it's going to be really good. I want to show that off to Meatloaf.
Yeah, were you guys gonna have that cover finished up? What, January, February? When is that?
We want it done by Valentine's Day, so we can really show it off to all the lovers. Just in time to possibly start printing. So we also do this brain trust, and I'm sure a lot of people do it where Sean and I will get together with other creators, talk about what we're doing, and kind of talk about different ideas and strategies and all that kind of shit, and sort of also just vent. Like, how's your comic making going? How's everything doing? What happened here? And of course, the hot sauce thing comes up, and the guy's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude." I was like, "I even know when it happened." He's like, "Yeah, well," he said, "I already downloaded. Like, I'm already on YouTube. Where is it?" I'm like, go to the 59-minute mark. You'll see it. And he's like, okay, and that's where it is. So he goes there, and dude, he blares his sound, and The whole room is silent, and we now get to watch him react.
Right.
And at first he's like, oh no, this is
right.
I just started fucking laughing.
Right? It was hilarious.
And his buddy, who also had not seen it, but all he's watching is the reaction video, is laughing his ass off as his friend laughs, and I'm like, fuck it, fuck your mother, oh, fuck it, over and over.
And because it was self-inflicted, it was total like jackass. It was
absolute jackass.
Self-inflicted pain. I thought it was hysterical. Meanwhile, Wendy's in the audience going, "Oh no, don't do this, don't do this." Everybody's like begging you not to do this. I'm like, do it.
You made the promise.
It can't be that damaging. Do it.
You made the promise.
And it's just like when the whole thing happened with the shutdown back in March, and the kids were cooped up in the house, and my wife's like, "What can we do with the kids?" I'm like, "Well, we can go live on Facebook and do science experiments." I'm like, "We should get Coke and Mentos and do the Mentos challenge with the kids." The experiment
in the face. Have you seen that video, Chuck?
I think I did see that.
In the face.
Yeah, and for those of you that haven't seen the video, here we can pop it up here real quick for a second.
Oh yeah. Let's.
I made it slow motion and everything.
It means I can finish my dinner.
Right in the kid's face.
Yeah, and my wife's like, "That's going to be so mean." And if I had the video with sound on here, and you hear my wife laughing harder than I was. And
it's not funny, dear.
It's not funny. If they fall down the stairs or get Mentos. See? It's funny.
I love how your kid's running away. I know yours.
I just think it's funny. The little girl Adriana just looks down, boom.
Well, see, I told her it was going to change colors, and I said, watch it. And it did change colors. It went from dark brown to light brown. But when I said watch it, I didn't mean put your face over the hole. And I'm like, oh man, this is going to be classic.
That's such a dad move, though. Just to be like, watch it real close. It changes colors.
Closer.
I did this thing with my little brother.
Adriana walks over to the table and gets another Mentos and drops it in there and is looking in there again, waiting for it to happen.
I did this thing with my little brother. He would have been 10 and I was like 18. And so, you got to pick on your brothers and stuff. So I did this thing. I walked up to him. I put my fist out like that and I started counting down. 10, 9, 8. And I'm counting down like this. And he's just standing there. He's like, what are you doing? Just kept counting. 3, 2, 1. Blast off. Wham! And I punched him right in the face. No, not hard because I'm already extended, right? So I just got to. He's like, ow! And I said, okay, we're going to do this again. Only this time, I won't punch you. And he's like, what? I was like, I'm going to do it again, but this time I won't punch you. He's like, you promised. I said, if I do it, I have to give you my allowance. And I was making like way more than he was because I was a high schooler. He's like, really? I was like, if I punch you, you get all my allowance. He's like, okay, cool. Yeah. So he's sitting there. I'm like, all right, 10, 9. And he's all ready. Go all the way down. 3, 2, 1. He ducks. And then he gets all cocky because I can't punch him, right? Grabbed him by his shirt and slammed his face right off of my fist. He's like, whack! He's like, you hit me? I'm like, no, you hit me, so I should be able to punch you back. He's like, what? No. Big brothers, man, that's what you do. It's fun.
Family or close friends.
Right?
Someone once said you can tell best friends because they're usually two people trying to kill each other in a crowd. It's like lawn darts. Me and my friends, you got lawn darts, you got garbage can lids, you've got live action comedy. I mean, you just, and that's because you're friends, you're family. You're allowed to do these things to each other.
We had, I don't even remember what they are. They were kind of like walnuts, except for the outside was spiked. There were spikes on them.
I know what you're talking about, like horse chestnuts or something like that.
Yeah, that's it, horse chestnuts. We had a horse chestnut tree, and we would get our like in the middle of spring or summer on a not too hot day.
Right.
We would get our winter jackets on and our snow pants, and then we would play horse chestnut tag. And you start fucking whipping them at each other. Oh, it still hurt.
Yeah. It's like paintball. The first time I paintballed with my friends, face shots. Oh, face shots are illegal. Are you kidding me? Face shots are where it's at. That's the kill zone. We got thrown out. We got thrown off of there because some guy's hiding in the V of a tree, right? And all I could see is his freaking face and his gun nozzle. I got tired of that guy. I just wailed him right in the forehead with one.
And you're gone.
I'm gone, but I got him. That's all that mattered.
Stuff's running through there like, in Quake Arena or Unreal Tournament when they're like, headshot.
Yeah,
double kill.
For me, paintball was always outside.
Yeah.
I never did one of the arena ones. I love the outside games. Oh, it's Sarah!
Sarah, what's up, girl?
Everybody loves Sarah.
Yeah, hell yeah. Dude, she's the coolest tatted lady around.
Dude, Russell, you got to get Sarah on your show.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm up for it.
She did that live video when she unboxed all the stuff she got from Wendy, and it was just hilarious because her two girls were on there. It was just absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, I'm down for it. I'm open after next Tuesday because this Tuesday
squeeze her in the panel here. Sean's not here.
Bring her on.
Bring her on.
Hey, you want to come on, Sarah? I can send you an invite.
Come on.
You can. She probably won't. She's a little shy, I think.
You can ask us terrible questions, and we'll ask you terrible questions back, probably.
I will copy the link and send it to her. If she wants to come on, she can.
Okay, we don't.
That. So your Dungeons and Dragons group, you guys get together? Like, do you have like a set time or something?
Yeah, but we do it over Discord. So, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Have you?
Man, I wish I could see something like that. Because you know what I mean? I haven't even seen a Dungeons and Dragons game in God knows how long. And I don't have any physical friends I could do it with.
Right. So they have D&D has this site called D&D Beyond, and you can. And it wasn't live. Okay. So D&D Beyond, and what's really cool about it is that you create your character sheet and everything, and then they do all the math for you. So because it's all there right in front of you, it's like, oh, I want to hit. So you click on to hit with that particular weapon, and it rolls the dice. It does all the math right in front of you, and you're like, all right, I hit a 17. They're like, okay, you hit. And I'm like, so then you click on your sword, and it does this much damage. You're like, I did 11 damage. All right, cool. And it's like, dude, this speeds everything up so much. Like, it was so fun.
Right.
If we had that back in our day, I would have finished more campaigns.
Oh, yeah. Well, and that was the thing. You didn't finish a lot of campaigns because, I mean, there was the graph paper and drawing this stuff out and all the sidebars and and the best part was that you got a bunch of teenagers sitting around a table and the dungeon master is the same age. So there's absolutely no real supervision, direction, control going. You know what I mean? Like, these are not the people who are best going to be organized. So yeah, you'd end up going to the tavern and maybe the first room in the dungeon, and then it'd be as far as your campaign ever got.
See, I was lucky because I probably got started like around 14 or so, and for us, it was a lot of the older brothers who had just gone off to university or were just about to leave for university or whatever, like in the last year of high school, and they'd be like, let's play a game. None of my friends are around this weekend, so I want to do something. So they would get a campaign together and we'd do a one-shot.
What is this book Michaela's talking about?
I don't know. Dude, see, now you got to give us you have to put, Michaela is obviously an author. She says it right away in her name. Drop the link. We want to check it out. We did not know that. Of course we do D&D. We're nerds.
And friend me, and then
hey, you know what? Even better, I just sent Michaela the link, so maybe she can join us and tell us all about it.
Ooh, yeah.
And here's the amazing thing about creators getting together. I had dropped a hint that you and I had discussed a possible D&D thought for Belial 3, because Belial just is a natural for a D&D kind of reference. What always amazes me is people don't see there are connections to be made. I drew a. I got pulled into D&D by friend's older brother. It was always older brothers that got you involved. Yeah. But I drew a module cover for original art. I took the module B1 and I wrote all of it out. It looks exactly like the module, except the picture is different, big boobs, And you wouldn't believe how many people commented about that because there's so many D&D fans out there.
Mm-hmm. I remember that too.
So, I love when creators figure out, wait a minute, there's a whole other market. It may be a comic book, but there's a whole other market that might be interested in the comic book, or like in Russell's case, in his book, that have nothing to do necessarily with the subject, but there's thematic elements that appeal to them.
There's two big things I find with comic creators. They either like one or the other. And it goes through all of them. And you almost never hear them talk about it until it comes up, and then they won't shut the fuck up. The two things are D&D and wrestling. And I don't know why.
Yeah, wrestling.
Yeah, dude, I did see that one.
Yeah.
I love that one.
You're right. They always do wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Here, show it again, Steph, so everybody can see it.
I got to show it again. Bring it up. They don't want to see my face up close. No, don't show off Lois's cover.
Oh, dude, that's so badass.
Now, wouldn't that have been a better cover for B1? I did the mushrooms like it's supposed to. But that's the thing.
Wait, is that why you're so fired up tonight? You did mushrooms? Is that what you said?
Yes. But here's the thing, Chuck, and I love spinning off ideas. It comes from the time I was in advertising and stuff. I just love spinning off ideas. Like if somebody said, hit me with an idea that's going to attract a market that has nothing to do with comics, right? I'm creating a comic book and I want an idea for a cover that has nothing to do with comics and will attract a whole other market. I would say, do a cover that looks like a Magic the Gathering card. Do a cover that looks like a Pokemon card if you have that kind of theme. Do something that brings in a crowd that has nothing to do with comics because they like that art represents what they like. Yep. So it's the same thing like with the wrestling or the Dungeons and Dragons or when people always do the movie homages. They do the movie homages hopefully to get some movie fans who like it too.
Yep. No, it's totally true. I got my daughter when I was at a Comic-Con a bunch of years back. Greg Horn is one of our favorite artists, my wife and I especially, and he did this gorgeous picture of Pikachu holding a phone playing Pokemon Go, and it's cute as fuck. And so I got that and put it up and she still has it. She's had it for like 5 years. She loves that thing.
Right.
Yeah, man. No, that stuff's all that kind of crossover stuff. I mean, actually, so we're doing it with my partner on Essence House. He was like, "What can we do to try to get some of those Belial people over to Essence House? Because that's going to be tough." And so we talked about it, and what we did was our artist ended up doing because it's a time travel drama.
Right.
He did a Back to the Future homage using Belial and Link. Okay. But having them use some of they have some of the items that are in our book and stuff.
Right.
And so, dude, it looks so awesome. It's hilarious. Like, it's so funny. We're going to be showing that off probably in the next week or two once that one comes out.
What is Rodney saying? I heard what?
He said, wait, what? I heard mushrooms.
Oh. Thanks, Rodney.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you better watch it, stuff, because I got this B right here. I want to send them to you.
Yeah, right.
Max stats. He's got max attack, defense, and HP. You're going down.
Yeah, exactly, Wendy. It's what that's the thing is I had a guy reach out to me. He was asking for art and I was like, for what? It's always funny because he just completely new at this game. He's like, well, I really like your style. And I'm like, so what's the art for? And he said a cover. And I said, a comic cover? He's like, no, a book. And I'm like, oh my God, this is like pulling teeth. And so he sends me an image. I said, well, let me know what it is I'd have to do for the cover. Like what sort of detail or what sort of image you're looking for. And then I can better gauge what the price is going to be. So he sends me this mock-up, right? And he says, but I can't use that because that artist used that for something else. And I'm like, okay. But he did that for your book? And the guy's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. He said, so your thoughts? And I'm like, my first thought is I would have no idea what your book is about by looking at this cover. And it's fine if you want to do something edgy and cool, but unless it says King as the author at the top, if your title and your cover have no resonance to each other, then your cover, if I do that kind of art for your cover, I'm not drawing any more people to your book. When it's on a shelf, nobody's going to look at it and go, because he said, really? And I'm like, well, that cover art that you're showing me could either be somebody going through psychotic breakdown, or it could be a guy ordering a cup of coffee. I have no idea what this book is about based on the art. So, yeah, with the art like that, it's got to pull people in, some sort of attention.
That's why variant covers are so much fun, because you already have a main cover to do that heavy lifting. The
Right.
variants just, they're like, let's have some fucking fun.
That's
Yeah, variants are the best.
Yep.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. How many variants are you going to have there, Russ?
I'm not going to have any variants. So with mine being a book, I'm going to have a main cover.
Oh,
Each one of
novel?
the artists. Huh?
It's a novel?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a novel.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so now the artists each are going to get comps with their art on the cover as like a I can't think of what it's called, dust jacket, because it's going to be kind of hard just to print extra hardcover books in the other with their art. So I'm going to try to do like a dust jacket is what I'm working on figuring out. So there's all going to be main covers except for the comps that the artists get of their work. Theirs will be on the cover in a dust jacket. But right now I have like 16 pieces. 11 pieces are being used in the book, and the rest of them are for stretch goals and stuff like that. But, that's the nice thing about variant covers, too, is not only let's have some fun with this. I was going to add on to that, it helps you bring in a wider audience because, like, if, Chuck, you doing a Stef cover, people are going to come buy that book because they're Stef completionists. And then they're going to look at your book and go, hey, this is a hell of a cool product here. I'm going to invest in this series. And so that's why variant covers are such a smart idea, too, because you can get the variant covers and then read the original.
Yeah. Well, but it also works. Now, it very much does work in that way, but it also works in the other way in that I haven't done a lot of sexy books before this. So it meant that a lot of my fans didn't know Stef's work as well. So they kind of get introduced to that, and they get to be like,
exactly.
Oh, dude, what is this? I'm like, oh, that Stef is just hilarious. You're going to love it. Like, just take a deep dive, go have fun.
Yeah, you share fans.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
It's crossing over.
Yep. And he shares off my stuff. And, once I'm off Kickstarter or I've moved on to the novel and stuff, I'll be showing his stuff off. He's doing this BDI and he's doing that BDSM and whatever else.
And here's the
I
thing,
got
too.
you.
If Chuck's got a Kickstarter project going on, I've worked with Chuck. I've chatted with Chuck. No variants for novels makes sense. Yeah, it's just not,
the art will be for add-on
prints. It would work
and for
because of the cost.
Yeah.
Hey, Jack.
Dude, what's up?
Jack, how's it going? My wallet hates the shared fans.
She complains every time I get a cover because she wants it. But she complains because it hurts her wallet. But, and here's the thing. I send that art to Chuck. Chuck goes, crap, I got to do this cover. Like, he wasn't planning on doing a cover with me. But I sent him that picture, and he went, crap, we got to do this as a cover. Now, here's the thing. I met Chuck a little bit in chat, enough to send him something in Messenger, And he says, yep, let's do a cover. So we work that out. We're doing a cover together. I'm promoting his stuff. Here's the thing. When Belial ends, Chuck's got something else going on. I'll share it out because in the meantime, we become friends. So that's the whole thing is like, somebody said something about backing something the other day. And I'm like, I'm not on that project. I don't share or back projects that I'm not on unless I'm friends with the person or I'm in the project. You know what I mean? And not because I don't believe like, oh, hey, here's a great project. I'd like to share it out. The thing is, I like my feed to be something that.
Hey guys.
Hey.
How are you?
Good.
We're good. Guys, this is Michaela. This is Stef. And Russ. Yeah. Let's see us. Let us see her book.
Here's the thing. When
Belial ends, Chuck's got something else going on, I'll share it out.
Michaela, you got
Dude,
feedback
that's
on there.
Yeah,
Okay,
you got to turn off the volume. Yeah.
Yeah. There, I got you.
Dude, that's badass. I like
Isn't
that.
It is.
Yeah.
Can you tell the hero there has wings?
Yes.
Leather wings, right?
No, not leather, just wings.
Okay. That's badass, though. What's that about? Give us the pitch.
Yeah, give us the pitch. Give us the sales pitch.
Okay.
Oh, no.
the
That
thing
was
is
a
here-
bullshit move. That was such a... Because you're like, oh, I don't even know what to do. And then you're going to go right into this
I know.
perfectly
It's
home
like,
pitch. I know it.
So much
Nope.
trouble.
You're
because
full of
here's the
shit.
thing. Here's the thing. It's published by the Wild Rose Press. And they say that this is what I have to tell you. Okay? This
Oh.
is shit.
Oh, no.
I don't like
No.
it.
Give
This
us
is
your
don't
Russell's
pitch.
like it.
show. Nothing is the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, fuck that. Give us your pitch.
So my pitch is Cassidy's world has been destroyed all in one night. Everything she knows is gone. Everything she holds dear is gone. So she's lost. She's adrift. And then she meets him. And he's got his own secrets. He's got his own shit going on. So here she is thinking, I got a savior, but I don't need a savior. I'm already a warrior. I don't need him. But damn, is it good to have him. And so together they got to figure out what the hell the back plot is and what the hell's going on for sure. And at the same time, they got to figure out, will he listen to the magic in time to save her or not? Will he just be a douche and not rescue her?
Is this more like Harlequin fantasy or...
No. This is more like, I don't like Harlequin fantasy or like the Hallmark stories. I don't like them.
Yeah.
So yeah. So there's romance, but there's a lot of stuff guys like too.
Oh, good.
Well,
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah. And I asked my husband because he read it and he doesn't read. I asked him, I said, well, what was your favorite part? And he says, you know that part where he bashes the two guys' heads together? And I said, yeah. And he goes, more of that, less of the other stuff.
More of that.
More of that.
Well, seeing who says guys don't like romance. I mean, I like some of the romance stuff. You know,
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to
Some of
afraid
it's
to admit
okay,
it.
but some of it gets a little too Hallmarkish.
Exactly.
It's
No,
true.
I agree.
But for my birthday this year, Russ sent me flowers and candy, and I was like, dude, we don't have that kind of relationship.
Yeah, no.
And he doesn't understand it. He
Flowers
doesn't
and
get
candy.
that. You have to, yeah.
Yeah, Russell's novel is a little bit more. It's this woman who's tired of her professional life in the city, and she goes to this little town, and there's a guy. He's a craftsman. He builds toys for kids on
Of
the
course he
side.
does.
Oh wait, no, that was just a
Yeah.
I
No, that's
thought
That's your
Xenonite,
autobiography stuff.
I thought Xenonite Titan was about two giant like kaiju like mechs who
Yes.
fall in love in the middle of a war, but they're on
Yes.
opposite sides. It's kind of like Romeo and Juliet meets Neon Genesis Evangelion. Like it's something like that.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Bye, Ed.
have
Have
a
a
good
good
one,
night,
buddy.
So how big's the book, Michaela?
300 and some odd pages.
Son of a bitch! I could never
Sweet.
do that.
Yeah.
I have such respect for you, Chuck, Russell, for Michaela. I'm like the wrong person in the room right now because I don't have the patience to make it beyond like a page of writing.
I
I was
found out I
interested.
write like I talk, which is all the time. So
Okay. Well, that seems to sum up Chuck and Russell too. I see a thread here.
That's a thing, yeah.
The thing.
thing.
If you like
They're
talking,
either-
you like writing.
They either talk an awful lot or not at all. There's usually no in
Yes.
between.
Yep.
That's writers.
Yep.
Do we get a book excerpt somewhere? Is there somewhere where
Yeah.
we can read a little snippet of the book?
You can do it. Amazon has it. Barnes and Noble has it. Yeah.
You're in Barnes and Noble.
Oh yeah, Barnes and Noble,
Good.
Walmart.
Chuck just sat up in his big boy chair.
Dude,
It's huge.
yeah, it's no joke, man. Yeah, no, getting in there is big.
But yeah, you can get into Walmart. You could get it at wherever. I'm even in a couple local bookstores that I've networked with. So they carry my books now.
Cool.
Awesome.
Now, is Michaela Jade like a pen name or? I thought so. Good for you.
Yeah, because with my other name in my quote unquote real life, I write for an outdoors magazine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like hunting, fishing, hiking, canoeing.
Now, do you do like the sexy books too, where you would then have like a third pen name, where it's like,
No,
hi,
it's all under Michaela Jade. Like my
okay.
hash or
like
my
Jade Showers or something like that?
not yet.
Not
Not
yet.
yet. But no, my catchphrase is creating dark twisted fantasies. Dare to come play.
Very
Ooh, I like
nice.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah,
Does he like
because
that?
So you got
the more
Chuck
books
should
that
have
get
probably,
written,
Chuck should have probably consulted you for his book 2 title, because
There
Make
you
Mine
go.
a Double really just. There were so many other ways to go, and he went with Make Mine a Double. It was like, okay.
well,
Yours
I
was,
like doubles.
his idea was good, though. The drop a
Drop a
deuce. It's good. It's like, dude, honestly, it is
That
good.
one goes the other way, though.
Well, yeah. I mean, Make Mine a Double. It plays a lot of lines.
Yeah.
Drop a deuce is like, that's like right away. That's all the way in. I think it's hilarious.
You're right, Jack. All you have to do is a picture book. I just couldn't write.
Yeah,
like
and
that.
yours
Oh
would
my
be
God.
over 300 pages with all the covers that you've done. So
Well,
And yours is all done, right, Russell?
yeah, mine's totally done. Mine is
Editing stage.
all the art's done. So all 10 chapter illustrations are done. The book is done. It's done at the editor. I'm just trying to finish.
who was your
getting
editor? Did
everything.
you get a good one?
Yeah, it's Katrina Rhodes.
Oh, I thought you were going to get a good one. No, I'm kidding. I love
God.
Katrina. She's my editor. I'm fucking with you. She edited my book. I'm screwing with you.
Yeah, so you have Essence House coming out next month, Chuck. What do you have coming out in December, Michaela?
Nothing. Because I dropped the
nothing?
publisher. Yeah, I dropped the publisher because the editor was such a twat. She was.
Editors are like
She
that.
didn't teach me
Brutal
anything.
honesty.
Yeah, I mean,
Editors
I-
can be like that.
but I got into this and I knew nothing. And I told them that. I said, I'm brand new to this. And that's the other thing. Everybody tells you, submit your book to all the different publishers you can find because you'll get rejection letters. I didn't get one. This was the first publisher and I never got a rejection letter. So I thought, wow, okay, must be something to it. Come to find out, it had to go through 4 of the top dogs to get a yes. It did. So then I get this editor who doesn't even have the time of day for me. And I told her, I said, I'm brand new to this. What are you looking for? What do you need? And she would come back with really vague answers. And so I was like, okay, what do I do with this? So I would edit the way I thought she wanted it. I'd send it back. It would be like 8 months and I hadn't heard anything. So I start asking, I'm like, hey, do you have my manuscript? Are we working on this? What are we doing? I had to go to the top dog of the publishing company and be like, hey, I haven't heard from this chick. What's going on? And so then when the second book rolls around, because they had rights to the series, because this is the first in a series, I sent them maybe not the best draft, and they rejected it because they had to reject it before I could get my rights back. So yeah, I've had my fill of crap editors and crap profit. And it's like, yeah, no, I'm good.
Well, and see, that's why I'm doing a Kickstarter. So, I the other day I was talking to somebody that has an agent and they're publishing a book and they're like, well, what do you mean you're self-publishing and doing a Kickstarter and you're going to print it yourself? Why don't you get an agent? That's what everybody else does. And I'm like, I don't want to have to wait on anybody. I mean, we've heard horror stories, Michaela, like on Brian's show where people have submitted a book and they're like, oh, we're going to print this. And then a year goes by. Yeah. And then they're like, oh, no, we decided we're not going to print it. Here's your rights back. Well, by then you've been promoting this book that supposedly was going to come out. And then everybody's already forgot about it and they've moved on. They're like, they don't care anymore.
And you've moved on to another book, too. Like, in the meantime, you're already working on other fucking projects. So the last thing you want to worry about is having to then find a new home for this thing that is done. It's fucking done. It should already have been in hands months ago. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And what kills me is...
go ahead. You're fine.
What kills me is that she's a professional editor. She is paid to edit books. My daughter, who is 13, found editing mistakes in this book. My husband, who does not read, found editing mistakes in this book. So now I go to promote it and I'm like, I don't really want to promote it. Can I just wait till the second book? It's horrible. It's just like, man, I can't wait to get the rights back and redo it and put it back out.
Are you so? If you when you get the rights back and stuff, are you still going to sell all the comps that you have, or are you just going to go screw that? I'm going to reprint it.
I'll probably
Whatever.
sell everything I've got before then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a sucky thing, but in the time that it took that editor to come back to me and give me the bullshit she did give me, I have learned so much, and I've grown so much since then. It's just like there's nothing that publishing company can offer me. I mean, what are they going to offer me? Bad profits? You know, I don't get it. And part of it is like, aren't they supposed to want to sell the book? Because if you read the back of this book, I wouldn't even buy it. I'm like, this is what you went with?
It's
how the
funny.
hell are you supposed to sell it?
It's funny because it can happen the other way too. I had a book I just found out it's going up against my book right now. It's on one of the crowdfunding sites, and I edited it back in like 2018, and didn't hear anything about it. I moved on, and then suddenly it was done and out there, and I was like, whoa! I didn't proof that thing. Like, I didn't get to go over the final copy. And he's like, oh yeah, somebody else bought it, and they were happy with it and put it up. And I'm like, and my name's credited in there?
Put your
He's like,
name's on it.
Yep. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sakes. He's like, well, do you want to look at it now? I'm like, no, because I don't want to know what's in there. Like, I don't want to know what got fucked up. So, no, I'm just gonna talk about Belial.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, we can all get fucked somehow, but there are editor twats out there, so you just gotta keep your eye out for them.
Well, and that's like Alton. You know, when Alton Simpson was on the show, he was talking about, you know, doing variant covers, and you know, he sells directly to comic shops with his books. You know, Vampires New Jersey and Blackjack and the Werewolf book, and you know, some of the other books that he does. And he goes to the comic book stores, and you know, they'll tell him, hey, we've had customers that want back issues. You know, is there any way you can do a trade paperback? They said they would be interested in that. You know, he goes home, puts it together, sends it out, gets it printed, and then sends it to the comic book store and they sell it. He can do whatever he wants with this project.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to retain with my book. You know, when I get to book 3 and I do the 3rd Kickstarter, I'm going to sell, 1, 2, and 3, or I may do like a compilation and do all 3 books printed into one big book. If people want to add it on, you know, I can do whatever I want to with it. I'm not just restricted to this is what you're going to do and this is how we're going to sell it and this is what you get at the end of the day. No.
How many pages is it, Russ?
So it was going to be one book. I split it into 3 separate books just for the simple fact that it was going to be around 800 or 900 pages once the origin story was completed. And I was like, it's going to be really hard to pitch and sell that big of a book to people with not having any other work out there. So I'm like, I'm going to split it into 3 books. Book 1's 200 pages. That's with the chapter illustrations. And, you know, it's going to go on from there. And I mean, some people are like, well, why is it so short? And it's like, well, I didn't want to just add shit to it just to make it bigger. This is kind of like, hey, this is the intro to my story. If you like it, back books 2 and 3. And then later on, I'm going to print it originally how I was going to print it in one single issue or one single book as a single story. So, I mean, it's not super big, but the story's definitely there for it. And it leaves off where it does because it's an integral carryover in the book that's going to leave a huge cliffhanger. I'm trying to dodge around it. It's a huge cliffhanger. And if I would have went on past that, it would have left too much not explained. And I felt like where it ended at was a really good spot for book 1, because if you like book 1, you're going to be like, when the hell is book 2 coming out? Like, I hope this is already done and ready to go on Kickstarter, you know, kind of deal. So
now, where do you guys get yours printed? Because they're more comic books than novels, right?
Mine's a novel. I'm
Okay.
going through probably. I looked at Ingram Spark first, and then I've checked out a couple others. And then Brian sent me to another place in Illinois. I can't remember the name of it, but it's not too
Okay.
far from where I live. It's like 4-hour drive, and I'm thinking about checking their pricing out because I can take out the whole shipping cost, and I can take out all the worry about USPS or whoever it is ends
Yeah.
up with the book in them, and I can drive up there and smell them fresh and hot off the press. Just be like,
Well, the other thing I was going to suggest is if it's a novel, you can use drafts to digital. I've heard that that's amazing, and that's what I'm doing my first solo one with. My critique partner's walking me through it. She said it's amazing. Like, she sold 85% more through drafts to digital than she did doing it through Amazon's KDP.
We're using KDP.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if you could probably use drafts to digital then. And
I'd take a look.
And they submit wide. So with drafts to digital, you'll be in Walmart.
I'm not against that. And what's great about Essence House is I didn't swear in it. So, like,
there you go.
I don't know if that's allowed in Walmart though.
No. Belial's gonna have a hard time just getting into regular comic shops.
Especially with this Stef Wilson cover. I mean, it's pretty hot and steamy.
Hey, that Chris Mad cover has a little bit of sexy as well.
Yeah, that's true.
That's.
I'm just wondering, Steph,
sex sells.
have you started working on the Supernatural cover yet?
I threw that at Chuck 5 minutes after I thought about it. Supernatural cover, definitely.
Yeah, he did tell me that too.
I was
he said we should do a Supernatural. I was like, fuck. All right, let's talk about it for book 3.
Yep, book 3. Chuck, what I wanted to ask you, you did the video, and you had a friend in a band. Brother. Brother did it, right?
My brother and one of my best friends are in the band. Yep.
What kind of band do they have?
They call it space punk.
Okay. Do they do original songs?
They're all original.
Okay. So here's the thing. I don't get you Kickstarter people. I really don't. Chuck, on your Kickstarter for Belial, right?
Mm-hmm.
Down at the bottom, if they have a CD, do they have a CD or digital download?
I think they're on Bandcamp, yeah.
Okay. Because it always amazes me that you guys don't cross-promote with something that's other than comics. In other words, you put a snippet of the song in there with the video, and then as an add-on pledge, they can add on for whatever, the digital download of the music or something like that. Like, it's almost like a natural. The music from that video was awesome for the book and the book kind of thing. Like other media could be slapped onto your Kickstarter. It won't take away from any of your pledges, and it'll cross-promote you to some music lovers. It'll promote them. That's your brother you want to promote.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. No,
promoting music.
So
wise guy.
This fucking guy. So you're absolute. By the way, I love the name of that. Leave it to the colorist. Mm-hmm. So you're absolutely right. The issue was that they recorded that, got it all mixed and everything the day before we launched.
Right.
So the CD isn't ready, like nothing's ready. So they were like, yeah, here's the song, do something with it. And so actually, if you had gone and checked us out, we didn't have the video until right before Phil's show that night,
right.
where we ended up starting. Yeah, we ended up airing it there, and that's what we didn't have the song. We didn't have anything prepped. We didn't have a music video we didn't have a video to go along with it because we didn't know what the music was going to sound like.
Right.
So yeah.
Whatever a digital download for music sells for, say on Belial 3, you have them do the music for your video. Then if I scroll down on the Kickstarter, there's a thing where I can click on it and listen to some of their music, and I can add $5 to my pledge to get a digital download of their music. Or if they actually have physical CDs, that's a whole other,
Yeah. No, there's a couple guys who do that. I know the guys from In Symmetry, they have a metal, like a death metal band, and they do they have songs for all of their different issues and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, man, people do it. Sadly,
Jack,
I couldn't.
I'm
this
an
one.
idea guy, Jack. That's what I am.
He is an idea guy.
Lots of ideas.
I thought you said you were an IKEA guy, and I'm like,
IKEA,
so he just He just
Yes.
puts all of his shit
In fact,
together.
the cabinet over there. No.
It's a Smurfit Noogle.
It's Smusugu. Actually, I was in IKEA once. You're not going to believe this. And they had a dining room chair with my name. They used my name for a dining room chair.
Like Stef Wilson?
No, it's not Wilson, but they called it. You know how they always have the weird names for the dining room chair was called Steph. I pulled that sucker, that sign off. That was like 20 years ago. I pulled that sign off. That went. Yep, gotta have that. I'm an official piece of IKEA furniture.
I like that.
How would that work exactly?
What, him being a piece of furniture?
Yeah, like if he's a chair and you sat down.
I don't know that it was a particularly comfortable chair, but
I was going to say, what part would you be sitting on?
I know, right?
That might, yeah.
I think if Steph was a furniture, he would be a rack. He would be a rack. For sure.
Yes.
Yeah, getting ready for the Comic-Con. We're going to hang our stuffs up on the wall to put the books on.
I have no idea where I'm going to display my books. All right, guys, I got to go, though.
Yeah, we should probably
both. Thanks for being here.
Was this show about Belial? I have no idea. I saw a great novel on here. I heard about Russ's book. Did we say anything about Belial at all? Wasn't this show supposed to be about Belial?
I think this is just a good chance to hang out. Yeah.
Did you even drop a link for Belial in there, Russell, to make it official? No, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm dropping it in like every 20 minutes. It's been in the comments there. So
yeah,
we'll have to believe you.
Yeah.
Can you show us in the comments?
I sure can.
Oh, there you go. Okay, good. All right.
Right here.
I gotta call you on it.
Don't get your panties in a twist. He's got it.
Oh, seriously, Michaela, you're one of my favorite people, and we've known each other for like a week. That's great.
I know, right? Yeah, usually I'm listening to Brian K. Morris, and my kids are like, "Oh God, is Brian on again?"
It's the fucking Fez guy.
I totally say that about Chuck every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy crap, it's this guy again?
Yeah, but every time he bitches, it's because I'm on a different show.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on.
Well, thanks for being on, Stuff. We really appreciate you. And guys and gals, definitely check out this fantabulous cover right here from Mr. Stef Wilson on that Belial 2 Kickstarter. Link in the comments, link in the video description. Before he goes.
Michaela's book.
Yeah.
And check out.
Great filler material.
That would be great.
Yeah, check out Michaela's book. It looks really badass. I'm interested in taking a look at it. And Michaela and I are actually going to talk soon because we might want to try to do some cross promo. I'm trying to show off some really good books as we talk about ours. So you and I will be conversing.
Okay.
We can show it off. Yeah,
that'd be great.
I'm all about that.
All
right.
Thanks, Russell.
I like to pretend to care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all a front. It's all a front.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, it is. But you have to jump through those hoops. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
Don't question Russell's innocence. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate that.
All right, guys. Good seeing you, Chuck.
We'll have a good one, Steph. I'll let
Take care,
you go, buddy.
Get some work done.
Yeah. Yeah. Get some work done. I got to do
Bye,
that.
Steph. You're welcome.
All right. So is it just us, or you guys leaving too?
I think we're almost done.
That's okay.
Yeah, we're almost done. We got some more bullshitting to do, you know. So,
I have to go do schooling, apparently.
Everybody that was here for Belial 2, I wanted to take the time to give this man down here a chance to talk about Essence House. So everybody here that's into comic books, this guy right here is involved in a awesome project that I've been kind of following here and there on Facebook called Essence House. You want to give us a rundown on what that's about?
I do, but I believe Michaela was saying that she had to go do some schooling.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I homeschool my kids, so I got to go look at.
No,
You're fine. I totally understand. Thanks for coming on.
Guys.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll see you around.
All right. Thanks.
That was an adventure.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me know, Chuck, because sometimes, like, for some reason, when I talk on the computer, it cuts your guys' mics and I can't hear it.
No,
it does it on my phone, too. So I appreciate you letting me know.
Sometimes I get that, too. Ah, dude. Your show is my show.
So yeah, definitely tell us about Essence House. Let the audience know. It's a book you got coming up
Yep,
that you work on.
And here's the thing, guys. Essence House actually started as an audio drama. So literally, you can go to any of your podcast sites right now. You can look up Essence House, and you can listen to it. And if you think it sucks, just don't buy it. You know what I mean? Like we literally put our balls on the table and went. There's 16 out of the 20 chapters there. There will be even more as this goes on. Yeah, I am probably late for the next show. It's all there and everything. So go ahead, check it out. I know Chuck has been. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, man. You got to do the work, right? Like if you care about it, you want it out there, you got to run the circuit. So yeah, Essence House. It's dropping November 1st. It's a sci-fi. Oh shit! I got to keep reading these.
It never had wheels to begin with. I don't even know what
Let's
Jack's
take our
talking
clothes off. No, so yeah, it's a science fiction. It's a science fiction family drama, basically. There's I don't want to get too far into it because I really want you guys to just kind of check it out, enjoy it. But I would say check out the first 2 chapters on the podcast site if you guys have never checked it out. Each episode's like 20 minutes. It's really good for your ride to work or whatever. And yeah, man, we went with that and ended up doing so well that we just thought, let's turn this into a novel. Like, I don't have any novels. I've always wanted to be a novelist. And the funny thing is that we as comic writers call ourselves writers, but we usually don't call ourselves authors. And other people don't regard us as authors. You can, and I get it from other people. You're an author, like from other comic writers. They're like, you're an author. And I'm like, yeah, I know you think I am. And I know that in my heart, I do the same work, but the fans and the people out there don't. And they're like, no, that's bullshit. And I'm like, no, it's true. So I told my mom follows my stuff all the time. Thank you, buddy. My mom follows my stuff all the time. She's been, checking out the books that I've edited, the books that I've wrote. She loves that. And then when I told her that Essence House was going to be a novel, she was like, oh, my son's going to be an author. And I'm like, fuck, you jumped into that trap right away, didn't you? She was so excited because finally I was going to be a real writer. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. And that's the bad thing. That's something that I've talked about before is when you write books or you write comic book stories or, you're an artist that's doing art, everybody looks at you like it's a hobby, and Jesse Witchman talked about it on a show that he did here, I guess about a month or so ago. Maybe it's only been a couple of weeks. When you do something you're passionate about like this, we all have to work, our 9 to 5 or whatever it is that we work, because this is like something that we want to do, but we have to get our work out there. And so everybody's just like, oh, isn't that cute? You're working on this project on the side and you're a wannabe writer. And it's like, no, this is really what I'm passionate about doing. And I hope one day that I can do this full time. And it's like, so then when you actually, like now I'm actually going to put this book on Kickstarter next month. And everybody's like, you really putting out a book? And I'm like, that's what I've been saying, for the long time. Cause it's been 10 years, back in 2011, I put out on Facebook, I'm like, hey, I'm writing a book, what do you guys think? Would you read something, that I would put out? And, I had a couple people like, oh yeah, that'd be cool. And then everything happened. And so it never happened. And I was just like, whatever. But, now is the time and it's super exciting. And, it's hard for us to do when you got so many people that are like, oh, that's just the hype. Because it's like you feel like people think what you do is a joke, even though we have fans and stuff and people that follow us on social media that are like, hey, I like the shit that you do and I want to see more of it.
Yeah. No, it's so true, man. It's so absolutely true.
It is. So what day exactly are you guys launching Essence House?
November 1st.
November 1st?
Yeah.
And it's going to be a 30-day campaign?
Yes. So it'll go through the whole month.
Yeah, see, that's one of the things that I'm doing that's kind of crazy. And I've heard, from half of the people saying do whatever you want to do. And then the other half are like, that's stupid, don't do that. And, then there's the few that fall in between that are like, it's kind of different. So what I wanted to do is mine's going to start on November 17th. And it's going to run through January 1st. So it's gonna be like a 47-day campaign because I thought that would be awesome to kick ass into the new year. But then I don't know. I don't know about the whole organics of Kickstarter. What the best thing to do is.
I Here's the thing. I would never tell you not to do it. What I would do is you know what? I'll treat you like you're one of my clients, okay? And I would just ask you, why are you doing that?
Because Thanksgiving and Christmas fall in there, and I figured it would give people a chance that if they wanted to back it and they didn't have the money, it'd give them a little more time to back it. That was my thinking.
So then I would then say, well, then why wouldn't you just move it forward and still do the 30-day campaign and have it still end at the beginning of January?
Because people don't want to wait any longer.
But they're still waiting just as long. You know what I mean? To get the book. It's not, you're not. And the other thing I would say is that, look, 30 days, it's exhausting. Like, trust me, you're going to be out there. I know you're going to be out there. You're going to be pushing it. You're going to be doing everything you can to get out there. It's a lot. So I would never tell you not to do it. I would just say what I always say, and that is, think about why you're doing it and what the reasons behind it are. You will find it's exhausting. And for some reason, the big things always, like big fucked up things always happen during your Kickstarters. My first Kickstarter, I'm not even shitting you. I don't know if I told you this story. I'm trying to get it out there, and I think we had just funded. We were aiming towards our first stretch goal. And I woke up I was trying to go to sleep, and my back started hurting. I'm like, what the hell? What is this? Never felt this before. The next morning, and all my friends are like, dude, you might need to go to the emergency room, blah, blah, blah. And then everyone went to sleep. The next day, I am messaging people from my hospital bed because I had a kidney stone and had passed it in the hospital. And so I'm in there with the IV and with everything happening. And I'm like, hey guys, what's up? This is Chuck live from the fucking hospital. Please check out my Kickstarter. And they're like, what's going on? I'm like, yeah, so I had a kidney stone. And just for some reason, dude, I've had people like, my dog died. Like, just all this like stressful shit. It's 30 days. It's not like the rest of the world.
Hopefully the first Kickstarter campaign for you wasn't Belial, because Belial 2 is called Make It a Double. So hopefully that doesn't mean we're gonna make it a double kidney stone,
Yeah. Just pop out too. Yeah. That would feel about right. But yeah, like look, this campaign is going very well. I'm really happy with it. But if I sat here and I told you that it wasn't stressful, I'd be a fucking liar. I'm looking at this thing all the time. You care. So yeah, I told you earlier, if today had been the first day to get no traction, I'd be okay with that. I would. You know what I mean? Because you know that it's going to happen eventually. But you still look. You still want to know. And then now that I've looked and I know that I got something, now it's like, was it tomorrow? I guess I'll have to check tomorrow all day and find out. It doesn't stop. You want this thing to do as well as you can. I had some family and they're like, well, you funded so you can stop. That's a lot of, yeah, it is a lot of work and anxiety. And they're like, you funded so you can stop. And you're like, no, there's no such thing as overfunding. It's not like, thank you, homie. It's not like Pepsi's like, so we paid for everything. We're good. We can stop advertising and no. They want to do as well as they can. They want to fund more stuff and doing more stuff. And it's the same with me. We would love to leave this thing. I have a certain number in my head I would love to hit, so that we know that we can make the next book and keep pushing so that by the time we do get to the last one, to issue 4, it's like, it's there. We can have a nice, fun, easy goal. We can breeze through it, or we can add a bunch of great things to it. We can get all the things that we weren't able to get on this one, like coasters and koozies and all sorts of the fun bar stuff, and just have fun, you know what I mean? And get you guys all sorts of great stuff. So yeah, man, I mean, you do whatever you can. So there's always going to be that stress. I'm not, we funded, so that's one worry I don't have. But now it's just like I want to make the most of this, and I think that goes with everybody. You have someone like Tom, who funded in a few hours, but it's not like he's suddenly like, oh, okay, we're good. No, he went and he did a long live thing last night. He's going to keep pushing that motherfucker for 22 days because he wants to make some money off of it, fund the rest of the stuff, and keep trucking.
And speaking of Ursa Minor, we have a live show next Tuesday with Tom Hutchison for Ursa Minor. So throwing that out there for all you folks. So yeah, he's not stopping. I messaged him tonight and was like, hey, you want to do a show? I'm open next Tuesday. And he's like, let's do it. So
that's
pretty exciting.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and that's part of it, me reaching out to you again. I figured by now we'd be hitting that lull that everybody hits. And I'm like, hey, Chuck, you want to do a second show? And just because the first one was so awesome, it was off the chain. And we had a great show again tonight, with Stef Wilson. And then we got bombed by Michaela Jade. So that was, fun. And that's how my shows are. I don't like to do things scripted. I don't, have a bunch of questions I ask you guys. We get on here and we bullshit and, we go with the flow of the audience. The audience, Ursa was fun in 45 minutes. And, we have fun, and it's about pushing these projects. And it's not so much about pushing the projects, but it gives people a chance to know who Chuck Pinal is. It gives people a chance to know who Tom Hutchison is. Because when you're backing a Kickstarter, it's all about investing in the person, behind the project. Whoa.
I agree. I know.
And so, that's what I like to do. I like to get on here and make it, a real conversation, like when I go into shows with people I don't know, I don't go and do research and be like, oh, I want to find out everything I want to know. I'm like, hey, you're coming on the show. I want you to do the show and sell me. And, by selling me, you're going to be selling the audience too, because I don't know who you are. I don't know anything about you. I don't know anything about the work that you do. And now I do know you. I've read Belial 1. It is phenomenal. So for the people that are in the audience, I have read Belial, and it is hilarious. Link's funny as fuck. There's a bunch of good jokes in there. And I'm so excited for issue 2. And I'm glad that it's funded. But we need to keep pushing it because, that's the thing. Everybody's like, oh, your project funded, you're good. And it's like, no, the more we make, the better we can make 3 and 4. I mean, I don't know if it's something that you guys have thought about, but you hit a certain limit. Now, hell, now maybe you guys can hire a colorist and do color just for shits and giggles. Not that you plan on it.
No. There's actually talk. There's, I'll be honest, all of that shit gets talked about. Thanks, Scott. Link's my dude. I love that little bastard. No, you're totally right. We have talked about colors. Right now, the tentative consideration, because we were very, how it's kind of got that gray wash to it. So we actually have all the pages with gray wash and without. And so what the thought is that we would, we might just take the gray wash out and then have a colorist come in and redo it. And we might end up doing that for the trade. So with the trade, it gives everyone a really good reason to pick up all 4 issues. Now you get it in full color, so, and I mean, how much, you think about it, we have all 4 issues and all we have to do is pay for a colorist. Like, that's pretty badass. So
yeah. And exactly what we were talking about. People say, why indie? Why indie publishing? Why do you want to publish it yourself? Why don't you want to publish it through somebody? This is the exact reason right here. You got a game plan. You get to Kickstarter 4 and you do 1 through 4 in black and white with the gray wash. And then on the 4th campaign, you offer a full color trade. Mm-hmm. And the people that buy all 4 black and white books originally how they are can get the color trade. People that haven't read any of the books can buy the color trade and back issues, whatever they want. It gives people options, because that's the worst thing about going through a publisher or through an agent or anything like that is they give you what they want to give you and what they're going to sell it as, and that's it. And it doesn't really appeal to the customers. By being an indie creator, people can, like me, when I buy your book, I can say, Chuck, I'd really like it if you do this. And you have 10 other people tell you that. And then you have, 30 other people telling you something different, you can take that feedback and use it to make whatever you want. Which, I mean, my whole thing, the question about the color is not taken away from the book. I don't have any problems with it the way it is. It's just, I just was wondering what kind of ideas you guys had for the future.
Oh, a lot. Yeah. Tons of thoughts. We're throwing all sorts of ideas around, and I mean, the nice thing is we're still only on issue 2, so we still got 3 and 4 to go to finish this whole thing out. And so as it moves forward, you gauge what your audience is like, what they enjoy, what they want to see, and move forward. This one has been really eye-opening because we realized that, hey, people are loving the sexy aspect of it, the fun aspect of it. Like we got to push a lot of those envelopes. And so now it's like, when we do the 3rd, how do you go bigger? Like, what do you do? So we're already talking about who would we do covers with for the 3rd, and what kind of stuff would we be showing off, and what homages are we going to do? Because we know what the story is. Like, it's already it's been there.
As long as by issue 4 we end up with like a Link figurine.
Wouldn't that be, dude? Wouldn't a Link Funko Pop just be the coolest shit on the planet?
Oh, it would. It would be hilarious.
Right?
It'd be awesome.
Oh, dude.
Well, see, and that's something that I kind of had as a plan that I wanted to do, and I've looked into it, and then I'm like, holy crap, is it expensive? Hopefully eventually, maybe by book 3 I can get to the point and do it. But I wanted to do like a figurine, and then do like a, day 1 backer, you get like an exclusive weapon or something, that's not included with the figurine for the backers later on. Do like a first day backer special. Hey, you back it, you get an axe instead of just the sword, or you get something special. And that's the nice thing about Kickstarter, is all the cool shit you can add into it.
Yeah.
Especially if they roll forward with this whole add-on thing. I've got rights to be able to use their experimental add-on, to where you can add on, like I can put in and say, hey, do you want to print a Stef Wilson's art? And you just click add-on, and it adds it onto your tier and automatically ups your pledge. Which, why they haven't been doing it before now, I don't know, because it's confusing as hell for people when they back. It's like, well, I really want this, but I want this and this. And for people that have never used Kickstarter, they're like, they choose one tier, and they're like, oh, I want to add this, and they click on that tier, and they're like, what the heck happened? It took my other pledge away. It's been super confusing, and that's been a lot of the hard part for, I don't know if you guys have ran into issues with it or not with that.
Yeah, but so I've never used Backer Kit because it's expensive, and so under a certain number of dollars that you're bringing in, it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
But I will say that we do add-ons and stuff, and we only have him down for 10 so far. So it'll probably get there, but just wait. But yeah, with the extra, like the backer kit and all that kind of stuff, we always tell our fans, if you want to fuck around and add extra stuff or whatever, just let us know. We'll tell you how much it is, throw on that extra money, and we'll put a note in there. And so there's so many notes in there, and like seriously, I've sent pictures to Sean or to other people, and I'm like, hey, there's your note. And it'll be like, give this fucker another cover, or give this asshole the extra Thomas Tenney cover, or whatever. You know what I mean? So
yeah, well, see, that's the nice thing. When I got Belial 1 from you, I reached out and I was like, hey, I want to get a copy of this. And you're like, hey, I got this and this for X amount. And I was like, all right, I want both of them. And you took the time to write a note on it, and you personalized it. And you're like, hey, man, thanks a lot. I really appreciate the support. And you're like, oh yeah, P.S. by the way, I forgot to say fuck, and so, and I'll have to break it out one of these days and show it on camera, because like, I didn't notice it at first. I was like, oh yeah, Belial's here. I pulled it out and I read it. Well, then when I put it back in and I turned it over, I was like, oh, there's a note back here. And then I was just cracking up laughing. It was, and it's nice, to have people that take the time to that, who your fans are, and you get to know people, and you can personalize it over something. Because that was one of the funny things for people that don't know. After, when Chuck and I first met, he was in one of his live shows, and he was just like, fuck, just dropping F-bombs left and right. And so I started this new thing where I came into each one of Chuck's show as the F-bomb counter. And so Chuck would stop in the middle of the show and be like, hey, Russ, how many am I up to right now? And I'll be like, 8. And he'd be like, oh, shit, I'm behind. Well, fuckity, fuck. And so it just became a thing. So it was really funny, months later down the road, I got the issues from you. And then it had that note. And it just, it was great to have that feeling of personalization. It's not like you're just selling a book. You're bonding with your fans.
That's it, dude. The thing is that we're indies. We get to have that experience. You know what I mean? Like, you're not buying it from a shop. You got it directly from me. I can do something special for you. I have that opportunity. I mean, even like with this campaign as it is, it's all going to go through Sean, and Sean is going to, Sean's going to end up having to send out, like, I mean, by the time it's done, probably 150 to 200 packages. So it probably won't get that touch. You know what I mean? But you'll get all your toys and all your extra stuff and all that. And then when people meet us at shows and stuff, and they bring me, dude, you come and you bring me a copy of Belial 2 or whatever in the wild. Oh, I will write whatever the fuck you want on there. We will have fun. And we will joke around, and I'll sign whatever you want. I'll write you notes. I'll tell your teacher to go fuck herself. Like, whatever you guys want to do, it'll all be on there. Yeah, your boss.
Oh, what's that one thing you can get? I can just see it now. I don't remember the name of it. There's that one thing that you can get on there. You can hire any celebrity you want to record a video and send it to you. That's going to be you. You're just going to be like F-bomb and everything. Like, somebody's going to call in, instead of calling in and quitting at Walmart, they're going to hire Chuck to be like, I fucking quit this motherfucker. And you.
What's your best quitting story? Because I have a good one.
You know what? I don't really have any good quitting stories. Usually when I've quit jobs, it's been just because like whenever we bought this house back in 2008, the economy hit the shitter. And so I'm like, hey, I can't afford to make, $300 a week. I have an $800 house payment now. So I got to go find something else. And so it's always been that it's not really that I've quit out of, I hate this place. It's been like I quit out of necessity for income.
Yeah. For me, so I was a line cook, and being a line cook, yeah, right. Totally, Jack, totally. So as a line cook, there's a lot of bullshit that goes into that, and that's what I did, and it was so tough. And this was also my younger years when I wasn't taking it maybe as I wouldn't say I wasn't taking it seriously, but you're a little angrier and younger and stuff. Yeah, totally is. So it was my last day at this restaurant. So I'd given my 2 weeks. I was moving on, and it was 2 restaurants connected. So it was the fast food restaurant and then the not fine dining, but the sit down restaurant. And so I'm at the sit down restaurant. I'm working there early in the morning, and the main cook doesn't show up. And so it turned out he was in a car accident, and he was okay, but he was like, man, my car's wrecked. I'm having a really rough morning. I'm not going to show up. This was a Friday. It was my last day. And I worked my ass off. Now, the manager of the restaurant next door came over, and he would help me now and then, but I worked my ass off, and I did pretty much everything to set up the line on a Friday, which is an awful lot. And the general manager there was an asshole, and he always treated me like a piece of shit. And so I'm in my chef whites. I'm working away. I'm doing everything. Everything's happening. And then the general manager comes in, and he goes, he says, Charlie, all right, come on. You need to stop screwing around. Excuse me. You need to stop screwing around, and I need you to set up the line because we're going to be opening in about 10 minutes. And I'm thinking, screw around? What the fuck? I'm the one who set all this up. And then he turns to the manager, who had done almost nothing, but it helped me a little bit. And he's like, thank you. We couldn't have done it without you. You're such a good guy. We really appreciate you so much, man. And that's how my time at that restaurant had been. It was like everyone else got the love, and I got shit on. And so I'm starting to set stuff up, and he's like, hey, come on. Charlie, let's go. You got to be faster. And I was like, you know what? I actually have to change into my my clean apron and get myself all cleaned up and stuff. I'll be right back. And he's like, okay, yeah, no, just be fast, all right? Come on, don't screw around. I was like, no problem. I went, clocked out, fucking took off my whites, left him there, threw him in the laundry, and just left. Left him there on a Friday all by himself. Fuck you. I gave you my 2 weeks. You treated me like shit every single fucking day. And on my last day, when I do everything, when I did not have to go out extra, you're going to treat me like shit? No, you get to do that all by yourself. Fuck you. Run the place by yourself. And that was my big, my fun, fuck you, I quit story.
That's awesome.
Yep, just walked out the
Well,
back
and that's
door.
the bad thing, and that's part of what sucks about having the 9 to 5 on the side on trying to do this. You find it hard to find. So you have a family. You find it hard to have time to work on a book, deal with family, and work a job. And then when you work a job and they treat you like that, and you're doing this stuff on the side, something you actually love, and you're like, hey, I just do this for an income, and you get treated like that, it's like, hey, I'm walking away.
Well, and like I said, I'd already given my 2 weeks. I was already moving on to something better.
Exactly.
And you're going to treat me like shit? Are you seriously right now? So, yeah. Man, just don't be an asshole. That's all. Like, it's really, the rules are really easy. Just don't be an asshole. But, dude, we're almost at 2 hours. Thank you. See, and here's the thing. I have quit under good circumstances. I've quit under bad circumstances. Sometimes I'm the asshole. You live, you learn, you grow the hell up, and that's how it goes. But, yeah, man, dude, just try to be a better person. Like, it's really not that difficult. Try. And that guy wasn't trying at all. So,
all right, Mr. Arms. So I'm going to give you the full screen and let you give your elevator pitch on why people should buy Belial 2 and where they can find it. And I will post the link in the comments while you're giving your whole elevator pitch. And don't forget to talk about Essence House too while you're there.
Yes, sir. What's going on, gang? Chuck Pino, Pineau. You can find me on Twitter at Chucky Pin. You can find Chuck Pino on Instagram. You can find his beautiful ass, of course, here on Facebook. You can find my Chuck's Raw reviews, which are my independent comic reviews. You can find those on YouTube. And, of course, we've got my books. First off, we've got Belial, which is on Kickstarter right now. Belial number 2, Make Mine a Double. It's all about the original creator of Hell and his adventure, along with his friends Link and Mammon, to take his domain back from the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse and, of course, Lucifer himself. I also have Essence House, which is my sci-fi drama. And, sorry, first off, Belial co-created that with Sean Barbour, who is an amazing dude. Wanted to be here, but sadly he was busy as fuck. Essence House was co-created between myself and Eric Cockrell, and it is a sci-fi family drama all about a family's adventure when they find out that the house, the ancestral home that they lived in many decades ago that was destroyed, holds the secrets to adventure and enlightenment about their roots. So I would love it. That one drops on November 1st. Go check it out. See if you can't follow it. I would love for you guys to jump on as much of that fun stuff as possible. And hopefully, if you like it, we can keep bringing you some great stuff.
Awesome. So I look forward to book 2, and I look forward to seeing more from you.
Thank you, dude. And actually, I do have one last thing that I should throw at you guys real quick. On Tuesday, a great book is dropping entitled Cthulhu Invades Oz. And I have a writer's credit in that. I got to be one of the guys, and everybody got to have a different character, and I got to write the Scarecrow. Why they got the dumbest dude around to write the smartest guy, I have no idea, but whatever. It's in there. It's a really good piece. If you've read Belial and you enjoyed it, this is a completely different side to Chuck. So I really hope that you guys will check it out and just be like, whoa, that's Chuck. That's a whole other level. So I would love for you guys to check that out, and hopefully you guys love it very much. Thank you, Mike. Thank you so much, dude.
Jonathan Hendrick, and there's so many people.
Jonathan Hendrick, Travis Gibb, Russell Nolte, Silverbacks is on there, like Eric Hawkins. So many great names. So many. David Byrne is on there from Scout Comics. Like there's tons of great people on that. That's a
Is
stacked
there a
book, guys.
pre-launch link that people can find for that?
If you go to, I believe you could go to CthulhuInvades.com, or you can just go to, you can either check out my page, or you can even go to Facebook and look for Cthulhu Invades Oz. CTHUHL, no, ULHU. And yeah, look for that and you will find it, and it's going to be a really cool book. I think you guys will love that.
Cool. I'm going to try to find the link for that.
Badass.
Oh, never mind. I got it. Hold on, everybody, and I will pop that into the comments here.
Sweet.
Right quick, and
Boom.
boom, just like that.
Okay.
There we go.
There you are.
yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much, Russ, for having me on and letting me play with all those great guests and stuff. That was really fun.
Yeah, anytime, man. Like I said, I just love to get on here and chat with you guys and get to know you and be a part of this stuff. It's a lot of fun, and I wish you guys great things. I hope you guys make way more than what you do. Oh, somebody else popped it in there for me too.
Oh, you're great. Thanks, Mike. Hey, Russ, you know what's the best part about getting on?
What?
Getting off.
Have a good night, buddy.
Peace out, homie.
Have a good one. Thanks a lot, guys, for watching tonight. We had a lot of fun. Definitely a lot of stuff to talk about. We've got Belial 2 on Kickstarter now. Essence House, that will be kickstarting November 1st. And Cthulhu Invades Oz. Wow, look at me. I just said Cthulhu and didn't mess it up. Twice, actually, which is going live Tuesday. So check it out. Definitely is going to be awesome. There's a lot of big names in there, a lot of cool people that write cool stories, and it's an exciting project. You got different stories. I believe Jonathan Hendrick did the 10-man. Chuck Nasty, C. Bizzle did the Scarecrow, like he said. So definitely check it out. Links in the comments there. The link for Essence House is in the comments there. And for Chuck's Raw Reviews, definitely check those reviews out. They're awesome. He reviews comic books, all kinds of stuff. You can go on there and help me be an F-bomb counter. That's always a fun thing to do. So as always, everyone, check out these awesome projects and Russ Explode Studios, projects that will blow your mind. I'm out, y'all. Have a great week.